our Top Fuel semifinals is at hand here at the 36th annual NHRA U.S. Nationals.
Kenny Bernstein peers down the nose of his dragster at Dale Armstrong, the crew chief, hoping that Armstrong has found some power to compete with the man in the near lane, Frank Hawley in the Darrell Gwynn car. Darrell looking on, knowing that elapsed time-wise they have an edge, Don Garlits.
But Darrell Gwynn knows that Dale Armstrong certainly has the capability to put that car of Bernstein's into the bottom of the fives. He's done it before.
Winner goes to the final round. Kenny Bernstein holding the brake, holding back all the power. Now he lets it go. And you see Frank Hawley streak ahead. Darrell Gwynn cheers. When Kenny Bernstein lost traction, it was all over. Frank Hawley matches Joe Amato's 5:06. They go to the final round virtually deadlocked on performance.
And that's the kind of stuff that made all the hard work worthwhile for Darrell Gwynn to make it here to Indy.
So the Top Fuel final will feature Frank Hawley against Joe Amato, and by 1/1000th of a second, Amato has lane choice. Now we're ready for the semifinals in funny car.
And that's Tom Hoover. He'll be paired up with Chuck Etchels. George Hoover is standing on, the crew chief. Tom Hoover will now be doing his burnout. This is a very important procedure. They spin the tires in the water, get them going real fast, 250 miles an hour. That heats up the pavement, smoke comes off the tire, rubber is laid down on the drag strip. They back into that rubber, and that gives them the traction to leave. A very critical procedure.
Now let's go down to the far end, and Steve.
You will not have lane choice. Your 5:06 with a 9 didn't quite cut that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's real close, but Ken talked about the track conditions for the semis, and he slowed it up a little bit, and he's just unbelievable. He said it might run an 06 or an 07, so I don't know how he can predict that, but we'll see what he's got up his sleeve for the final.
With it cooling off, we might see a 4 from one of the other cars.
Well, I hope it's this one.
Frank Hawley, obviously a man who is looking forward to his first real opportunity to win a U.S. Nationals title. And here's a man who looks like he's enjoying himself. All right, he's ready for the big shootout.
Oh, yeah, and he's hoping his son Tom will have a quick draw right off the starting line to contend with Chuck Etchels. Etchels might be the favorite were it not for that earlier 5:39 by Tom Hoover. That really places him right in the heart of this competition, Don.
You bet. This is a very even car match. And remember, the pressure of the U.S. Nationals is on both these men.
Well, Tom Hoover has been to the starting line 3,000 times more at least than Chuck Etchels. Etchels leaves too soon, much like he saw in Pro Stock with Joe Lapone. Chuck Etchels left too soon. George saw that red light and knew his son Tom had won. 5:46 wins it. Down on the starting line. Hey, Don Garlits, look out. Incoming.
Oh, are you here again? Are you going to win the U.S. Nationals?
Well, I'll tell you, if we did, I don't know if my heart would take it. You know, a guy 84 years old, and you wonder if he even got a heart anymore.
I see you jumping around on the starting line. You look plenty spry to me, old man.
You know what keeps me going? This darn old drag racing. That's where you belong, too.
The old man of drag racing with advice for 3-time Top Fuel champion Don Garlits. Steve?
Tom Hoover, these are words maybe you thought you'd never hear. You're headed for the finals of the U.S. Nationals.
I tell you, as a drag racer, Steve, that's the most biggest thrill for all of us. This is the Super Bowl of all the race series and the whole deal, and Indy's a big. I'm just proud to be here, and I hope I can come through in the final.
Again, you didn't hear your competitor, and you chopped the power early.
He red-lighted, Steve. I saw him go. He choked up there, and Chuck's a good racer, but he just tried to drill me the 440, and he got too quick.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom talking about Chuck trying to anticipate that green light just perfectly, but he called it too close.
The car you just saw, Dominic Santucci, is now on the left side of your screen. Let's remember Santucci's a past U.S. Nationals champion. He won in 1969 in Top Gas, a category that no longer exists. Ed McCullough in the near lane has won the funny car title here 4 times, tying Don the Snake Prudhomme for the most wins in this eliminator category. Here's McCullough near lane, Santucci in the far lane. McCullough, a thundering 5:32 to go to the final round.
In the funny car final, it'll be Ed McCullough against Tom Hoover, and McCullough has the lane choice. The finals of the U.S. Nationals coming up next. This This is Charlie Jones along with Steve Evans and Don Garlits at the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis.
Driver Frank Hawley discussing with race car owner Darrell Gwynn just how they might run a little bit quicker and get Joe Amato in the top fuel final. Those are computer tapes they're looking at. The onboard machine furnishing lots of information. Well, Dad Jerry, he's trying to relax by talking to the fans, something you'll see a lot of in the pits around drag races. Just about the friendliest motorsports environment you could imagine. Now it is time for the Pro Stock Final. Jerry Eckman up against Larry Morgan. Now, Eckman has changed engines, Don Garlits.
That's right, Steve. This was the scene. Jerry Eckman and crew went into the trailer. They got an engine that had not run any better than the engine that was in the car, but they knew they had to change something. Larry Morgan was coming into this round with a 731, and Eckman had run a 746 in the previous round. He had to do something.
Larry Morgan, the defending U.S. Nationals champion, trying to make it 2 in a row. It is Eckman. Jerry Eckman has stunned this crowd. 7:35 for both drivers. Car owner Bill Orndorff in the black hat has gone crazy. And why not? It's the first U.S. Nationals victory for owner and driver.
It's not often that you reach down into the bag of tricks and pull out a winner at the U.S. Nationals, and that's just what they did. The crew installed a different engine, matched the performance of Larry Morgan, and the driver, Jerry Eckman, did his job on the starting line, and that tells the story.
Here again, graphically displayed, is the importance of a good start. Morgan's ET was 1,000ths quicker, yet Jerry Eckman was the winner, and he's with Steve.
You took a gamble. You took the motor out. There was nothing wrong with it, and you tried another engine.
Right. I certainly did. It was quite a gamble because we'd been having problems earlier in the round, and we just didn't know, and we figured we need some more performance for the final. Looks like it paid off. It was a good guess.
Congratulations, U.S. Nationals champion.
Excellent. My dream come true.
And by his dream coming true, Jerry Eckman also takes over the point lead in the Winston Pro Stock Championship. Next up, the funny car final.
And Bernie Federle, we just saw, going through his mind, have I got enough power? Do I have too much power? Is the clutch tight enough? Is the clutch too loose? One thing he doesn't worry about is the man in the steel cocoon underneath that fiberglass Oldsmobile body. That's Ed McCullough. He's one of the best drivers the funny car competition has ever seen. Tom Hoover, well, he could fulfill his entire family's lifelong drag racing dream by winning the U.S. Nationals. And just about all of them are here. There's his wife, Betty, nearest us, daughter, Leah, the son, Landon, and also working on the car is the oldest son, Tim, and of course, who can forget, 84-year-old George and wife Ruth. Right now, none of them are even taking a breath. McCullough near lane, Hoover far lane. The U.S. Nationals title is on the line. McCullough has won his 5th U.S. Nationals. I don't think we can call that man, Bernie Federle, conservative any longer, Don Garlits. He attacked this race.
He came here to win, and win he did. McCullough makes a perfect start, and the car runs perfect. It was set up right. It doesn't spin the tires. Nothing goes wrong. But as you can see in Hoover's lane, a stream of oil is following the car. Evidently, in the haste of putting it together for the final, something was left a little loose, and oil came out and got on the drag strip and obviously under Hoover's tires, slowing him.
And there is Ed McCullough. He has just won his 5th U.S. Nationals title, surpassing Don Prudhomme's all-time record for this category. But Don Garlits, there's problems at the starting line.
Yes, this is bad news for the Gwynn family. This is the lane that Frank Hawley will have to drive down. Obviously, Amato will put him over in that lane.
Steve Evans?
That's 5 of them, Ace.
All right. 5 times. The only guy ever done it. Snake tied me. That's 5 times. The 200 points, we needed it. I don't know what it ran, but it was good enough to beat the Who's. You know, I don't know what to say. 5 times winning Indy. This is great. I love it for Miller, Larry Minor, my boss. I just got to say one thing, that my crew, my guys, we're not a bunch of individuals. we're a team. And our entire team works together. My boys, I love them. They're the greatest group in the pits. I mean, Bernie's awesome. We work together on this thing. Bernie goes up, he makes the final calls. He's awesome.
He said it all.
48-year-old Ed McCullough capturing perhaps his most important win ever. Up at the starting area, a worried Darrell Gwynn is surveying the damage to the far lane.
Darrell's made thousands of runs. He knows what this can do to his car's performance.
Can the Gwynn crew overcome one last obstacle and make the dream of winning this year at Indy a reality? We'll find out when we come back.